This morning on Fox 43, the storm is here and snow is falling heavy all across south central PA.
We'll have live team coverage throughout the day. Our reporters stationed across the viewing area with meteorologists Tony Martin and Jacob Hitz here in the studio.
Plus, Fox 43's Robert Stover monitoring conditions in Cumberland County and our Sedona Meadows over in York County. Fox 43 Morning News starts right now. 8 o'clock on your Sunday morning. Welcome to a special edition of Fox 43 Morning News. I'm Gabrielle Media.
And good morning, everybody. I'm James Tully. Spent the last couple of weeks talking about what happened 30 years ago with the blizzard of 96.
Right.
We have another snow event today, and we're with you through all of it to see how it breaks down. Heavy snow, frigid temperatures are impacting south central Pennsylvania as we speak.
And as we've mentioned, we have team coverage not only out in the field, but also in our studio. We've got our Tony Martin and Jacob Hitz. They are monitoring the storm's path and letting you know what you need to know if you need to get out the door. But probably a good idea to stay home if you can, Jacob.
And that's really been the messaging all week. If you don't have to go anywhere,
right.
Don't go.
It's a Sunday.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Stay at home. We've got football later on that you'll see on Fox 43 a little later tonight. Just take it easy. You know, hopefully you're well stocked up with food, things of that nature. And we'll get through this together. Here we go. All the way through, rest of the day. Buckle up. We ready?
We're ready.
All right, let's take a look back in time a little bit for our time lapse over Lancaster County. This starts at 8 o'clock last night. And as we go through overnight, that snow starting to fall a little after we got to midnight into early Sunday morning. And now the snow has come down across the area in a live look right at 8 o'clock here at the top of the hour. And the snow continuing to fall all across the area. And it may be tough to tell on the screen, but obviously the snow is sticking in some spots across the area this morning. Now we have gone through and looked at some of the snow totals that have been reported so far. Obviously a long way to go, but right now 10 degrees in Lancaster County. That's the temperature. It feels like -5. Obviously with the snow, you have the wind as well. And with these bitter cold temperatures that we've been talking about, those aren't going to go anywhere over these next couple of days as well. Here are snowfall totals right now. Hershey, last check in Dauphin County at 4 inches, 3.8 over in Manheim. Some of those Lancaster County reports came in pretty much right at the wire right before we came on at the top of the hour. Palmyra and Mechanicsburg each at just under 3.5 inches, and then York at 3 inches on the nose. And live look at the roadways this morning. Obviously things are very snow covered across the area. Hardly any traffic on the roadway, and that is the good news. PennDOT obviously has restricted a lot of the roadways this morning, slowed down speed limits, and at this point, the only vehicles that should be out there, snow plows and emergency vehicles. Cars and trucks are also allowed, but things like tractor trailers and things of that nature, not going to find them, or at least you shouldn't find them out on the roadway. From the roads now to the radar itself, we're going to turn things over to Tony, who's at the wall with a full look at what we're dealing with right now and, of course, what's coming up a little bit later on as we go through this afternoon. Tony?
Jacob, thanks. Yeah, we're just getting into the very early stages of this storm system. Interesting to look at snowfall totals. You know, the snow only began about 4 or 5 hours ago, and we already have between 3 and 5 inches of snow. So coming down at about 1 inch per hour, and the heaviest of the snow still has yet to move in. That will arrive from the south and southwest here pretty shortly. Winter storm warnings continue through 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That has not changed. Snowfall amounts also unchanged from our map that we had out over the course of the weekend. The further south and east that you go, southeastern York County, southeastern Lancaster County, closer to 6 to 8 inches of snow here because of sleet cutting down on totals. Now, one thing to think about and consider, obviously a lot of snow coming through. If the sleet is delayed even by 2 or 3 hours, you could certainly tack on a few more inches of snow to your snowfall totals. The overall message, though, is that we're going to get a lot of snow, and things are just getting going across the area. The bullseye, so to speak, the jackpot zone of highest snowfall totals appears to be right through here, Mifflin and Juniata counties, where some spots could see over 1.5 feet of snow before things are all said and done very late tonight. Weather impact alert now all the way into Tuesday, and the storm system, the snow, that's going to be done later on tonight. But the frigid cold temperatures come roaring back into the area tomorrow and into Tuesday. Dangerously cold weather on the way. Wind chills maybe as low as 15 to 20 below. And it's not just going to be through Tuesday. Looking down the road, once we're done with this storm system and initial blast of Arctic air, there's another shot coming in by Thursday and Friday, which will likely be just as cold, maybe even a bit colder once we get to that part of the week. So certainly for today, limit travel. If you don't have to go out, don't. Just let it snow. Watch it snow from outside as you're in your window and just looking outdoors, watching the snow come down, and then go out, shovel it, and plow it and snow blow it later on today as things start to wind down. Here's a look at radar currently as we scan the skies, and we're watching where the deeper blue is right now. Carlisle, Biglerville, Chambersburg, Waynesboro area, Greencastle, Mercersburg, and then east into Gettysburg, and then back north, Huntington, and then as you move east into Abbottstown and Hanover and New Oxford, this deeper blue that is just now coming in from the south and southwest, that is where we're seeing snowfall rates of about 2 inches per hour. So that is now making its way into our southern counties, and that will continue to lift northward. Temperatures right now only around 10. So it's a very cold storm, very light, fluffy snow. But as the winds pick up tomorrow, it's going to blow and drift that snow around. With the breeze that we do have, light breeze, wind chills, they're a factor. 1 below Likens, 2 below in Harrisburg, 5 below is what it feels like right now in Carlisle. And the progression of the snow, again, southwest and northeast, the heavier snowfall rates just starting to move in. We were starting off at about 1 inch per hour. Now those 2 inch per hour rates continue to move off to the north and northeast. Get ready. Snowy day here in central Pennsylvania. We'll be talking a lot about it coming up over the next couple of hours. Gabby and James.
All right, Tony and Jacob, thank you. We're going to check back in with you guys soon. But the snow is causing some dangerous conditions out there on the roads. It's really the rate of the snow coming down.
Exactly.
That's making it so difficult to keep up. So state leaders are urging you to just stay home if you can.
Our live team coverage continue right now with Fox 43's Robert Stover. He's keeping a close eye on things in Carlisle, Cumberland County for us. And Robert, we need to talk about the bitter cold temperatures too that are making the situation even worse. You've been out in that for quite a while. What are you seeing?
Well, right now we have seen a few snow trucks and snow plows make its way to Harrisburg Pike. Right now we're at a rest stop just off of Interstate 81. We haven't seen too many vehicles go on there or off there. So I think for the most part, people are heeding the warnings of staying inside. You've heard the term when we've been to floodings, turn around, don't drown. Well, I'm gonna come up with a new one today. Stay inside, please, or else you might freeze. Somebody please patent that and give me 20% residuals on all merchandise. Now, you've seen most reporters when it comes to weather, maybe they have a meter stick. Well, today I brought a lightsaber with me because I thought, 16-inch blade, we can kind of see how deep the snow is right now. It's nothing too bad out here. I would say maybe 2 to 3 inches on what we're at in Carlisle, Cumberland County right now. But like I said, just take a look at the roads. Barren, everything but snow. We do have some vehicles, like I said, it's mainly those snow plows and those snow trucks making their way in and out of the area. Now, we have seen some people come visit this rest stop to fill up on gas. Not exactly sure what their destination is, but again, it's one of those situations where if you don't have to leave the house, try not to. We haven't seen any collisions, accidents, people sliding on the roadway. That's not to say it can't happen, especially to you. So if you do have to get on the road, just exercise caution. Make sure you give yourself space between those trucks, those snow plows, pretty much anything on the road right now. Now, that all being said, as of yesterday, we did get some information from the county itself. Now, ahead of today's storm, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, they announced a declaration of disaster emergency. And look, we even got a truck behind us right now. I'm going to step out of frame so you can see more of what's going on or what is not going on the road. Now, what that declaration of disaster means is that government buildings like the courthouse and other county facilities, they're going to be closed to the public starting tomorrow, and only essential personnel will be allowed to enter. Now, the declaration allows county officials to purchase needed supplies, employ temporary workers, and enter into contracts and agreements with vendors in an atypical manner. Now, the Cumberland County Department of Public Safety's Emergency Operations Center has been activated, and we're waiting for more information on as the situation plays out this morning. Like I said, we have a few snow vehicles hitting the road right now. That's about as much as we expect to see. Really no guarantee that the roads are going to be clear anytime soon, especially as the snowfall continues. That all being said, we do have an emergency vehicle right now. Oh, what luck is that? Well, hopefully everybody's all right. Again, you've heard the term, turn around, don't drown, stay inside, please, don't freeze. Our team coverage is going to continue all morning. We'll bring you the latest information from right here in Carlisle. That's all I have for you this half hour, so stick with us as we continue to cover this snowstorm. Live in Carlisle, Cumberland County, Robert Stover, Fox 43 News.
All right, Robert, some sound advice there. You be safe out in the snow. We'll check back in with you soon. Over in York County, you can expect closures and icy conditions near a water main break that happened around West Jackson Street and Jessup Place yesterday.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. The break left more than 100 people without water. Now, the York Water Company initially expected repairs to be done by 4 a.m. this morning. We do not see the area on the live outage map, so those customers should have their service back on, but you should still expect icy roads, especially right there in that stretch.
And right underneath a bunch of snow, too, so you won't even be able to see it coming. So
exactly.
If you're in that area, take it slow, be safe. Here's some footage from the scene showing water pouring into the streets of York City yesterday. What terrible timing for something like this with how cold it's been. Residents say standing water already started to freeze yesterday, and temperatures only continued to drop overnight.
And fire crews inspected nearby homes for potential electrical hazards while public works crews worked to control the flow and assess the damage. People who live there, and this is right by the college, I said Jessup and Jackson Streets there, they describe what they experienced when this break happened.
I came downstairs to do some laundry, and my neighbor happened to be like on the side porch, and he started knocking on the door. And so I went outside, and obviously I see all this water spewing.
Residents also say water has made its way into some basements, and water pressure also has dropped in the area. Again, service was expected to be restored here for these people at 4 a.m. this morning. Should we get an update? We'll pass it along to you right away.
Absolutely. And with how fast and heavy the snow is falling, it might be tricky for crews to keep the roads clear around the clock. Once again, state officials encouraging people, it's Sunday, just stay home if you can.
Exactly. We have PennDOT spokesperson Fritzy Scheffler on the phone right now with an update on how crews are tackling this storm and where they're focusing their attention. Fritzy, can you hear us? It's James Tully and Gabby Mediak on the desk.
Good morning.
Hey, Fritzy, long time no talk. We've done this quite a bit, haven't we? Let's start here. Talk about conditions on the main thoroughfares right now and how you feel about things and what reports you're getting.
Well, everything is definitely snow covered, snow packed down a significant amount. We've had crews out since midnight and trying to keep the interstates open, even though we've cut commercial traffic and really only passenger vehicles. Emergency responders and essential employees should be out on the interstates and a lot of the secondary routes.
And Fritzy, we did see an accident earlier this morning on I-83 Mount Rose exit. A car spun out. So we are going to show some footage of that to the viewers at home if we do have it. But just advice for drivers. It's a Sunday. They don't really need to be out and about on a day like today, right?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that this is happening on a Sunday and churches have canceled or they've gone to online pre-recorded things, so there really is no reason to be out unless you are an essential employee and you have no choice. If you didn't get supplies, most of the stores are closed anyhow.
Exactly. Are you seeing any trouble spots right now in particular?
No, it is really not one spot in particular. It is just widespread, and you talked about a car spinning out down in Mount Rose. We actually had one of our plows hit in York County this morning. Somebody rear-ended that, which to me is kind of mind-boggling. We're big, we're yellow, got lots of lights. I'm not sure how you miss us.
Yeah.
Fritzy, yeah, that's unfortunate. And again, you got to heed the warnings here. Are conditions so far matching what you guys planned for? Or are you having to adjust for anything here at this hour?
No, this is exactly what we were expecting, and our focus is going to be on the higher priority roads, those that are traveled a lot more once all of this stops. But we do want to assure people every road will get taken care of, but with a 36 to 40 mile average route, it's going to take a couple hours for somebody to get back to the same spot, so we're just asking for patience.
And with the snow continuing to come down, I'm sure it's been tough for you guys to keep up with it.
Right, that's it. Exactly. It is. We can go through, and I'm looking out the window right now, and I know that the plows have been through on my street, but if you look out at it, it really is hard to tell that they were there.
I know, it's so fast.
Fritzy, maybe leave us with this. For anybody out there right now, what's your message to them if they absolutely have to get on the roads and do some traveling today?
Leave yourself plenty of time. Don't just add a couple minutes to your commute. If you have to be out there, add at least a half an hour, maybe an hour to your commute. expect the unexpected, so constantly be looking to see what's going on ahead of you and around you. And please, please, please slow down.
All right, Fritzy, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us this morning. We know you're a very busy woman, and we'll be checking back in with you in just a little bit. Thanks again. Stay safe out there.
Thanks.